Luke arrived on the black sands of Mustafar just as the future began to break. The air burned, the sky glowed red, and inside the mining complex, Anakin Skywalker was already slipping into fear, anger, and blind devotion. He heard shouting before he saw them. Padmé pleaded for reason. Obi-Wan stepped from hiding. Anakin's face twisted with betrayal. In the old timeline, this was the moment everything died. Here, Luke moved first. He called out across the landing platform, his voice cutting through the heat. Anakin, stop! For one stunned second, all three turned toward him. Anakin reached for his saber, but Luke did not ignite his own. He spoke about Padmé, about the twins, about the monster Palpatine wanted him to become. Anakin tried to deny it. He said he had brought peace. He said the Jedi had forced his hand, but Luke kept pressing, each word aimed at the fear buried under the rage. He told his father that Padmé did not need an empire. She needed Anakin alive. She needed him to choose. Palpatine's lies began to crack. Anakin looked at Padmé, truly looked at her, and saw terror instead of admiration. He saw what he had become in her eyes. His grip shook. The force around him trembled. Then the Emperor spoke through a hidden hollow, ordering Anakin to kill them all. That command shattered the illusion. Obi-Wan ignited his blade. Luke followed, but Anakin did not attack. He turned toward the hologram instead, horror spreading across his face as he finally understood the trap. Sidious had never wanted a partner. He wanted a weapon. For the first time, Vader's birth was not certain. But Mustafar still rumbled beneath their feet, and in the fire below, a gunship from Coruscant was already descending through the ash. The gunship cut through the red sky and dropped toward the platform like a blade. Clone shock troops waited inside, ready to obey one command. Kill Obi-Wan. Kill Padmé. Kill the stranger. Save only Anakin Skywalker for the dark side. Luke felt it at once. This was never rescue. This was control. Anakin stared at the hologram of Darth Sidious. The old monster did not even hide his anger now. His voice came cold and sharp through the static. You have one final test, Lord Vader. Destroy them, and your new empire begins. That name hit Anakin like fire. Father! Luke stepped closer. He already chose your future, he said. A suit, a mask, endless pain. No Padmé, no peace, no family. Padmé looked at Anakin with tears in her eyes. Obi-Wan held his blade low, waiting, hoping. For one long second, Mustafar was silent except for the lava below. Then Anakin reached into the Force and saw it. He saw black armor, burned flesh, a cold throne room. He heard Padmé's dying breath. He heard his children crying in the dark. He saw years of hunting Jedi, years of serving a master who feared him, used him, and kept him broken. No, Anakin whispered. Sidious leaned closer in the hollow. Do not listen. Your power is mine to shape. That was the final lie. Anakin ignited his saber and slashed through the hologram projector. The image burst apart. At the same moment, the gunship doors opened and clone troopers poured onto the platform. Obi-Wan moved first. Luke followed, and then Anakin turned, not on them, but on the soldiers sent by his new master. The first clone fell. The second raised his rifle. And above them all, the Emperor's real shuttle entered orbit. Sidious was no longer sending orders from afar. He was coming to Mustafar himself. Padmé had seen anger in Anakin before, but never like this. On Mustafar, his fear had twisted into something wild, and for one terrible second, the dark side reached through him like a clenched fist. In the old timeline, that rage crushed the life from her. In this new path, Luke moved before the damage was done. The moment Anakin's hand lifted, Luke slammed forward with the Force and broke his father's grip. Padmé fell to her knees, gasping but alive. Obi-Wan rushed to her side. Anakin staggered back as if waking from a nightmare. He looked at his own hand with horror. Padmé could have run. She could have hidden behind Obi-Wan and let the blade speak for her. Instead, she stood, shaking, heartbroken, and fighting for breath. She walked toward Anakin. No empire, she said. No power's worth this. Her voice cut deeper than any lightsaber. Luke said nothing. Obi-Wan lowered his guard. This was not a battle they could win for Anakin. He had to choose. Padmé told him the truth. She did not need him to rule the galaxy. She needed him to be the man who once cared more about saving people than controlling them. She told him their children deserved a father, not a tyrant. Every word struck the fear inside him. Every word tore Vader apart before he could be born. Anakin's knees nearly gave out. Tears burned in his eyes. For the first time since Palpatine had poisoned his mind, he listened. He reached for Padmé's hand, but the ground shook beneath them. Alarms screamed through the facility. Sidious had arrived. His shuttle touched down beyond the smoke, and a cold voice echoed across the platform. "Skywalker," it said, "choose now." Padmé held Anakin's hand tighter. Then blue and red lights flashed outside. Padmé had pulled Anakin back from the edge, but the Emperor was here to drag him down again. And this time, Sidious was ready to claim the Skywalker family by force. Sidious stepped onto the Mustafar platform with the calm of a man who believed the future already belonged to him. His cloak moved in a hot wind. His yellow eyes locked on Anakin, then on Padmé, then on Luke. In one glance, he understood the danger. The Chosen One was thinking for himself. "Kill them," the Emperor said. Once, that order would have been enough. Once, Anakin would have obeyed out of fear, out of rage, out of desperation to save the woman he loved. But Padmé was still breathing. Obi-Wan was still standing. And Luke, the impossible son from a broken future, was proof that Sidious had lied about everything. Anakin looked at his master and finally saw the truth. There was no secret power to save Padmé. No promise of peace. No empire built for justice. There was only control. Pain. Change dressed as power. Sidious raised a hand, and blue lightning burst across the platform. Luke caught part of it on his saber. Obi-Wan moved to shield Padmé. The blast drove them back. Lava roared below. Metal screamed under their feet. Anakin did not retreat. He ignited his blade and stepped between the Emperor and his family. "I am done," he said. For the first time, Sidious looked surprised. Then the duel began. Red and blue crashed against the Emperor's twisting strikes. Sidious attacked like a storm, fast and cruel, trying to break Anakin's will before it could harden. But this time Anakin was not fighting for power. He was fighting for Padmé, for his children, for the man he had almost destroyed. Behind him, Luke sensed something shifting in the Force. Not victory, not peace, a choice. And as Anakin drove Sidious back toward the edge, the Emperor smiled, as if he had prepared one final move. Anakin had rejected the dark side, but Sidious was not beaten yet, and his next strike would target the one person Anakin could not afford to lose. Sidious struck first. A wave of lightning tore across the platform, forcing Luke and Padmé back toward the transport. Anakin met it head-on, blade raised, but even he could not hold the Emperor alone. Step by step, Sidious drove him across the metal deck, smiling as the heat of Mustafar rose around them. Then Obi-Wan moved. For one brief, impossible moment, master and apprentice stood together again, blue and blue, side by side, not as enemies, but as brothers facing the darkness that had poisoned them both. Sidious attacked with savage speed. He twisted, spun, and hurled bursts of force power meant to split them apart. But Obi-Wan knew Anakin's rhythm, and Anakin still remembered Obi-Wan's discipline. One pressed forward with raw power. The other guarded every opening. Together, they became something Sidious had never planned for: balance. Luke watched the duel change. The Emperor stopped hunting for victory and started searching for escape. Anakin drove Sidious back with heavy strikes that shook the platform rails. Obi-Wan cut off every counter. When the Emperor leapt for higher ground, Obi-Wan met him there. When he reached for Padmé through the Force, Anakin blocked him with a furious shove that sent him skidding toward the edge. The clones, still alive, began to retreat. Even they could feel it. The tide had turned. Sidious saw it too. His perfect future was collapsing on a river of fire. With a scream of rage, he blasted the catwalk supports and filled the air with smoke and falling steel. The platform shook. Alarms wailed. He was not trying to win now. He was trying to survive. A shuttle rose through the ash below. Sidious sprang toward it, cloak burning at the edges, his eyes locked on Skywalker one last time. Padmé screamed somewhere behind him. The Emperor was escaping, but his retreat came with one final strike. As Anakin turned, he saw Padmé fall, and Luke's face filled with sudden fear. Padmé Amidala lived. That single change cracked the future wide open. On Polis Massa, the medical droids fought through the night, but this time the fear did not win. Padmé held on. She heard the first cry, then the second. Luke and Leia entered the galaxy under warm lights, not shadows. Obi-Wan watched in stunned silence. Yoda closed his eyes and felt it at once. Two bright flames in the Force, untouched by the darkness surrounding their father. Anakin arrived too late to see the birth, but not too late to hear the truth. Padmé was alive. His children were alive. The hatred inside him faltered for the first time since Mustafar. He stood at the doorway like a ghost in black armor, breathing like a machine, while Padmé reached out a trembling hand. Anakin, look what is still yours. He looked, and everything changed. The Emperor felt the shift instantly. Across Coruscant, Palpatine sensed Vader's conflict sharpening into something far more dangerous than pain. Love. Love for a wife he failed to kill. Love for children. The first blaster fire tore through the station like thunder. Clone commandos stormed the outer halls in tight formation, white armor glowing under red emergency lights. Their orders were simple. Seize Padmé. Take the children. Kill anyone who stood in the way. Behind them came dark-robed inquisitors, silent and cold, already reaching through the Force for the newborn twins. Inside the medical wing, panic spread fast. Droids rushed to seal doors. Bail Organa drew a blaster and moved to the front. Obi-Wan ignited his lightsaber in one smooth motion. Yoda stood still, cane in hand, his calm hiding the storm around him. And Vader did not move. He stared at the corridor ahead. He heard the cries of Luke and Leia behind him. He heard Padmé breathing, weak but alive. For the first time since Mustafar, the sound of his own mask seemed distant. The rage that had defined him was no longer clear. It was breaking apart. Then the first clone rounded the corner and fired at Padmé's room. Vader's red blade flashed to life. He cut the bolts out of the air. One stroke dropped the lead trooper. Another sent two more crashing to the floor. The hallway froze for one shocked second. The clones could not understand what they were seeing. Darth Vader, the Emperor's fist, had turned against them. Get them to the ship, Vader said. Obi-Wan did not trust him. Not yet. But there was no time to argue. Bail lifted Leia's capsule. A medical droid carried Luke. Padmé pushed herself upright, pain written across her face, but her eyes were fixed on Anakin. She saw what no one else could. He was not saved. Not yet. But he was fighting his way back. The station became a battlefield. Vader held the main hall alone, his saber cutting through wave after wave of clone troopers. Obi-Wan guarded the retreat, deflecting fire, pulling down steel beams to block side corridors. Yoda moved at the rear, small and fierce, knocking soldiers aside with blasts of Force energy that shook the walls. Then the Inquisitors arrived. The first was a former Jedi master, twisted by years of torture and obedience. The second was fast, cruel, and eager to prove himself. They came together, red blades hissing, and attacked Vader without a word. Sidious had planned for this. If Vader hesitated, others would finish the work. The duel was savage and close. Sparks lit the corridor. Steel groaned under the weight of the fight. Vader drove the first Inquisitor backward with raw power, then turned just in time to catch the second blade inches from his neck. For a moment, all three weapons locked together in a storm of red light. Then Vader unleashed the Force. He hurled both Inquisitors through the transparent steel wall. Air screamed into space. Warning sirens rose higher. Emergency shields slammed down a second later, but the damage was done. The station was dying. Bail shouted that the Corvette was ready. They had one path left to the hangar. One chance. As they ran, Padmé looked back and saw bodies in white armor covering the floor. She saw Obi-Wan protecting her children. She saw Yoda, old and tired, still fighting for a future no one could promise. And then she saw Anakin behind them, black armor covered in smoke, walking through blaster fire like a machine built for war. Yet this time, he was not marching for the Emperor. He was marching for his family. Far away on Coruscant, Sidious watched through the Force and understood the scale of the disaster. This was no passing weakness. This was rebellion born from love. If the twins survived, if Padmé survived, if Vader fully turned, then the Empire would face something more dangerous than the Jedi Order. It would face a symbol, a living Skywalker family. So Sidious reached deeper into the dark side. Across the station, power failed. Lights burst. Doors jammed shut. Engines in Bale's Corvette flickered and died. The Emperor was crushing the escape with his will alone, feeding on fear, distance, and fury. Even Yoda staggered under the pressure. "He is here," Obi-Wan whispered. "No," Yoda said, grim and steady. "Worse, watching he is." The final hangar door opened halfway, then locked in place. Beyond it waited the Corvette, powerless and exposed. Behind them came more troops. Above them, the station began to break apart under battle damage and decompression. Vader stepped forward. He looked at Obi-Wan. Years of hate burned between them, but something else now stood beside it. Regret. Shame. A last chance. "Take them," Vader said. "I will hold this gate." Obi-Wan searched his face, looking for the lie, the trap, the old darkness. What he found was pain and choice. For the first time in a very long time, Obi-Wan nodded. Vader planted himself beneath the broken door and reached out with both mechanical hands. Metal shrieked. The locked blast gate trembled, then began to rise. Every muscle in his body strained. Sparks rained over his armor. Behind him, Padmé carried Luke now, while Bale held Leia close. Yoda and Obi-Wan pushed the others toward the ship. The gate lifted just enough. Then the Emperor's voice cut through the Force like a blade. "You can save them, my friend," Sidious whispered. "Or you can destroy me. But you cannot do both." And in that terrible moment, Vader looked up and felt a second presence entering the system. A Star Destroyer had arrived. Its shadow swallowed the stars above Polis Massa. And at its center stood the Emperor's next move. One that would force Anakin Skywalker to choose between his family and the fate of the galaxy. Years passed after Polis Massa, and the galaxy never returned to the path it once knew. Padmé vanished into the growing rebel network. Leia became its brightest young diplomat, learning courage from her mother and patience from Bail Organa. Luke was raised in secret among pilots, mechanics, and old Jedi lessons, but he was never taught to fear his name. He knew exactly who his father was. And Anakin Skywalker never again served as Sidious's perfect weapon. He sabotaged hunts, misled Inquisitors, and fed fragments of truth to Obi-Wan and Yoda. Sidious felt the betrayal spreading, but he could not crush it without risking open civil war inside his own empire. He needed Vader strong, even as he planned his replacement. So the years became a shadow war. Planets rebelled sooner. Senators disappeared sooner. Imperial officers began choosing sides. Across hidden bases and stolen freighters, one rumor kept spreading like fire. The chosen one had not fallen all the way. By the time Luke reached manhood, the war was ready to burst. He was not the farm boy of the old timeline. Obi-Wan trained his mind. Yoda sharpened his instincts. Padmé taught him why the Republic mattered. And Anakin, from a distance, taught him the price of failure. They met in person only once before the end. It happened above Chandrila, after an Imperial ambush tore through a rebel convoy. Luke's X-Wing spun across the battle in flames. Vader's starfighter cut through the chaos, blasted the attackers apart, and guided Luke safely to a landing bay hidden inside a burning cruiser. There, at last, father and son stood face to face without masks, lies, or legends between them. Anakin looked at his son and felt something he thought the dark side had burned away forever. "Peace. I am sorry," Anakin said. Luke answered with tears in his eyes. "Then help me finish this." That moment decided the galaxy. Sidious learned of their meeting within hours. His patience ended. He assembled the Imperial fleet above Coruscant, activated a brutal purge across the core and sent a message on every channel. Surrender Skywalker, surrender the twins, or watch entire world burn. He no longer cared about ruling through fear alone. He would rule through extinction. Padmé refused to bend. Leia rallied senators, captains, and smugglers into a united strike. Obi-Wan prepared Luke for the trap ahead. Yoda said little, but his warning was clear. Sidious would not fall easily. He would make victory feel like loss. Then the final battle began. Rebel ships dropped from hyperspace into the heart of Coruscant's defense ring. Star Destroyers answered with walls of green fire. The black sky over the capital turned into a storm of debris, broken wings, and spinning wreckage. Leia led the fleet line. Padmé coordinated the ground, uprising from an old Senate bunker. And through the chaos, one shuttle cut toward the Imperial Palace. Inside were Luke and Anakin. No speeches, no grand plan. Just one impossible choice carried to its end. They fought through the palace together, blue and red blades moving side by side. Royal guards fell. Inquisitors died. Old statues cracked as the Force slammed through the throne halls. Each step forward felt like walking deeper into the wound that had poisoned the galaxy for decades. At the top of the tower, Sidious waited. His smile never changed. He had seen empires rise, Jedi fall, brothers betray brothers. He believed this would end the same way. He struck first with lightning so fierce it tore apart the chamber walls. Luke dropped to one knee under the blast. Anakin absorbed the second wave with his saber, but the pain drove him back. Sidious laughed. He fed on their fear, their love, their need to protect each other. That was his mistake. Luke rose first, not with hatred, but with clarity. He was not there to kill in anger. He was there to end a lie. Anakin saw it and understood. For the first time since he was a boy on Tatooine, he fought without chains. Father and son moved as one. Luke drove Sidious off balance. Anakin shattered the throne dais. Together they pressed the Emperor toward the broken window as lightning and steel lit the night. Sidious screamed and unleashed everything. The tower began to collapse. Anakin caught Luke as the floor split apart. Luke held his father upright as failing servos locked inside the armor. Sidious lunged through the smoke for one final strike, and both Skywalkers answered together. Their blades crossed through the Emperor's guard. Then Anakin seized Sidious in both arms, held him fast, and looked once at his son. Luke nodded. With one last cry, Anakin hurled the Emperor into the storm below, as Luke drove his blade straight through the throne's dark core controls below. The tower erupted in fire above Coruscant. Sidious was gone, but the Empire was not. And as Anakin fell to one knee beside his son, the galaxy waited to see whether the Skywalkers had won freedom or only begun a far greater war.